Hello and welcome to Radiant Resilience. In this video, I am going to show you a way to gently stretch out and open the front of your chest. We're going to be specifically focusing on our pec muscles or the kind of the front of the chest muscles. There's two, there's a pec major and a pec minor. When those are tight or short, they pull the shoulders forward into a rounded position. In addition to rounding the shoulders forward, which isn't great for our posture, they can also limit our ability to reach the arms overhead. So we're going to do this in a way that feels pretty comfortable for you so that it can be a little bit of a restorative pose as well. You are going to need a prop, um, a blanket or a towel, and we're going to fold it into sort of a flat tube. So once you get it folded, you want to make sure that it's long enough so that when you lay on it, it's long enough to have your tailbone on the blanket as well as your head. If you decide that you want a deeper stretch, you could also use something like a foam roller that gives you something a little more height, or you could have a couple of blankets stacked on top of each other. And if you're really feeling like you want to stretch, you could do one arm at a time where the side of your body is at the side of a bed and the arm is just hanging in the air. This is a little more supported because your arms will be resting on the floor. So having said that, when you come down onto your prop, check tailbone is on your prop as well as your head. And then from there, check in with your neck. So you want your chin and your forehead to be fairly level. If you notice that your chin is lifting towards the ceiling where it's higher than the forehead, that indicates that you need a little height under your head. So you could, if you have enough length in your prop, you could just kind of double it up to let your chin drop down. Or you might need to take another towel or pillow underneath your head for just a little bit of more height to get the chin and forehead roughly to a level place. And then you decide whether it feels more comfortable to have feet flat on the floor or if you feel better with a lengthened leg. Do what feels the best there because we're going to be here for a little bit and I want you to be nice and comfortable. From there, now you're going to let the arms come down to the floor, palms facing up, and we're going to start with them not right next to the body, a little low, but a little bit away from your body. Take a big sigh and just relax the shoulders. So, oftentimes we have some unconscious holding patterns in our shoulders. And just by bringing awareness and softness, they can sink down a little bit. And then check if your arms are able to rest on the floor. If they're not, you might adjust your prop to make it lower. We are going to get into a little more stretch, so I want you to be able to sort of rest the arms on the floor. Okay, now we're just going to very gradually start to slide the arms a little bit higher. So we'll stop in not quite shoulder height. You'll still be a little lower, resting the arms. Now, if your shoulders are really tight in the front of the chest, you might not need a prop at all. Just doing this flat on the floor, it would be helpful. And then now we're going to go to about the height of our shoulders. So our arms are making a T out from the shoulders. Maybe take a sigh. If you start to feel like you're tightening or gripping in a spot, then maybe sigh and see if you can soften more. All right. And just going to give it a little bit of time. Studies show that the body needs a little time, even up to like 90 seconds for connective tissue to really start to release into a position. However, if it's too intense, your body will start to grip as a protection mechanism. So that's why you want to adjust the height of your prop so that you're able to have a stretch, but it's not too much. And it will also keep your shoulders safer too. And then we're just going to go up a little higher than the shoulders. So as we get into these higher positions where the arms are higher than the shoulders, still stretching out our pec major, but we're also going to shift into the pec minor a bit more. And that pec minor, when it's really tight, it can even press into the nerves that run through the shoulder and down into your arms, which causes a whole other slew of issues. Okay. And, if this isn't long enough, you're going to take it at your own pace. So you can stay here until it starts to feel a little softer, or when you feel ready, you're just going to go up a little higher. But your breath is an indication of the intensity of what you're feeling. So if you're not able to take deep, easy breaths, chances are it's just a little too intense and you might need to adjust your prop. And you're just going to continue sliding the arms up a little higher. Also, you might notice that you feel a little more expansion in your rib cage in this breath with the prop and the arms in this position. That just helps open up the intercostal muscles between the ribs to help you with some deeper breaths. Soften your jaw. Keep going up a little higher each time you feel ready to take it to the next spot. And we're only taking a few minutes to do this, but you can move at a much slower pace if you're finding that to be the most helpful for you. And eventually, you might go all the way up to where the arms are next to the side of the head. If you get to that point, now, if at any point you come to your edge where you're like, that's just not going to be safe for me, you're going to stop at that spot. You never want to feel anything sharp or painful. But if you're able to lengthen the arms all the way back, maybe take a big body stretch here. You can even kind of switch from side to side, stretching one side and then releasing and stretching the other side. Do that a few times. Maybe take a side just in stillness. And then you'll slowly work your way back to where you started. So as you're coming down with the arms, you might not spend as much time in each place, but there might be certain arm positions where you notice you have a little more resistance or a little more tightness. If that's the case, when you hit those spots, you can just give it a few extra breaths in those areas. Uh, And just a reminder, I'm just doing this, not taking too much time, so this video isn't super long, but you can take this at a much slower pace if that helps you soften into this. And then once you come back to where you started with your arms, just gently roll to the side, coming off your prop, slide it off to the side, and then come onto your back again. Take a big sigh. And just notice how the back of your body is connecting to the floor. You might feel like you have a lot of surface area of the body touching the floor now. And then whatever you need to do to come out of this, take it nice and gentle, whatever feels nourishing to you. And then you can come on up and seated. Once you come up, maybe do a few little shoulder rolls. Mm. And another sigh. And that's it. Very simple, but very effective. Give it a try. Let me know how this worked for you. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. And if there's anything else that you'd like me to cover in future videos, also leave those in the comments. I appreciate you and the time you've spent with me, and I will see you next time. Bye.